Using Pearson Inform during parent-teacher conferences is a great tool to guide discussions about the student's current academic progress, as well as their academic performance in school years past. Once you're signed into Pearson Inform, begin by going to the Students tab at the top. From there, you have two ways of pulling up a student's profile. One option is to expand the side panel along the left side, where you should see a list of all of the students in your class. Simply click on the name of a student to pull up their academic profile. Another way of pulling up a student's profile is to click on the search button near the top right corner. Here, you can search by a student's last name and once again pull up their profile. Once a student has been identified, the best tool to use during conferences is the AIP, which is the student's academic improvement plan. Using these four windows within the AIP, you can guide your discussions about how the student is performing. If you begin by using the Student Test History window, you can click on this button that looks like a square to expand this window and give the parent an overview of all of the tests that have been administered to the students over the years. These are mainly larger school-wide and district-wide assessments. You can explain to the parent what each of these tests are assessing, when the tests were administered, and give them an overview of the student's score. From within this window, you can see how the student scored and what the minimum required score was in order to meet. You will also be able to see, with a red X or a blank space, if the student had mastered this particular assessment. You can also go to page 2 of this window by clicking on the small blue triangle, and you should see a list of all of the concept standards. In this particular example, no standards are found, but in your Pearson Inform account, you should see all of the sub-skills that were assessed, allowing the parent to see what areas the student needs extra support in order to be successful. Once you collapse this window, you can move on to the Charts and Graphs section and expand this window. This provides the parents with a visual overview of how the student has performed on multiple assessments. Simply hover over one of the colored bars to see the student score in comparison to the district average and the school average. If you expand the Group and Intervention History window, you will be able to explain to the parents which groups the student has been a part of during their time in District 117. This is a good opportunity to explain to the parents what types of supports the student is receiving within these groups. If any notes had been recorded about the student's progress within these groups, you can open up the notepad and explain what these notes say. If you go to page 2 of this window, you'll be able to explain what particular interventions or activities the student is being provided in order to best meet his or her needs. If they were entered with a frequency and duration, you'll be able to explain how often the student is receiving this particular intervention. Finally, the last window of the AIP is the goal setting window. Here, you'll be able to give the parent an overview of any academic or behavioral goals that have been set for the student. This is a great opportunity for you to explain to the parent what he or she can do at home to better support you and the student in meeting this goal. If you'd like to print out a copy of this AIP for the parent to see and keep, you can go to the Printer button in the top right corner, and here you'll be able to select which portion of the AIP you would like to print. Simply go down the list and check anything that you would like to show up in the print. If you'd like any particular test performance details to show up, you can check this box. If you would like the goals, intervention strategies, activities, comments which are on the notepad to show up, you can have all of these boxes selected. If you'd like parents to sign this form, you can also check the box that says signature. Before printing, you can press the Preview button and a PDF version of this report will come up. Here, you can look through it and decide if this is what you would like to send home. This tutorial has been intended to show you how you can use Pearson Inform to guide discussions with parents during parent-teacher conferences.